Alright, so this isn't so much a review, it's more so just like a yap session on why I enjoy this new Cap run so much by Zdarsky. And I already knew, but like before I started reading that, I'd really like it because he wrote Avengers Twilight, which is another Cap story, Cap focused mainly, but set in the future. You should definitely go read that if you haven't checked it out. I reviewed it about like a week or two ago. Anyways, I really do love this a lot. Like the 5th issue just came out today. I read it and I just had to talk about it. So in this run, Captain America, it's a week after he comes back from the ice, essentially, into the modern world. And at first he declines the invite to Avengers and goes back to the army, which is what he would do, right? Because that's what he's used to, right? So his first mission, he's sent to Doomstadt in Latveria to essentially pull out some hostages that Doom's holding, some American people who worked at the American embassy and their families, right? So there are some side characters in this I really enjoy. I really love every single character in this. Let's start with Captain America himself. He's a really good adaptation of him. He shows that, he's beyond just a soldier. He's a good person. I'll get into that a little bit more later. The new Captain America, Colton, who's like kind of like the U.S. agent in this, I guess, a little bit. They went a good route with him. I was scared, not scared, but like it was better than I was expecting. So I was expecting him because he's like in the fallout after 9/11, he decides he wants to join the army and go to the Middle East. So I was expecting like, he'd be full of rage because his brother died. He'd be full of rage in those attacks and like he would take it out in the Middle East, but that's not necessarily true. So he witnesses somebody, like one of his fellow soldiers, kill an innocent civilian, and then he snaps and turns on the soldier. So it's like a good kind of, he is like Captain America in the fact that he wants to be good. He's like Steve Rogers in the idea that he wants to be a good person, but it's just that he's broken through war and PTSD and stuff like that. So he snaps and kills the soldier, that his fellow soldier that shot the civilian, and then he's sent back home and essentially turns into some like a U.S. agent basically. And then he's also with Cap and two other like Howling Commandos, like current Howling Commandos, and they're sent to Latveria. And so another character I really like is Doom himself. When Captain America gets there, they get captured, and he basically tells Captain America that he's a hero to him too, and he tells his Doombots to treat him with respect, treat him as a hero, as he should be, which is also insane to me. It just shows like how great of a person Captain America is. Like Doom, he arrives to Latveria, and Doom is like, this guy is, a hero to me. I grew up worshiping him basically. So then he shows him around and stuff, but Steve is still like, I can't let this happen. Like this is still a dictatorship. He compares him to Hitler, but then Doom points out that he's not like Hitler, and he came into power to stop people like Hitler, but it requires a firm hand essentially. And then so I really like that. They end up at odds with each other, and so then Captain America has essentially beat some of the device that Reed gave him. And another thing I really like about this is that Reed also grew up, like everybody here in the story grew up worshiping like Captain America basically, and Reed had a little like figure of him too, and it's nice to see stuff like that, right? So then the twist is that not the other Cap, but the other two Howling Commandos were actually there to kill the American hostages, and then that makes Colton, the other U.S. Captain America, snap even more, and he goes after the agents. And then he, like, in this issue, he decides he wants to kill every single every single troop in Latveria, and then go kill Doom himself. Captain America goes to stop him, basically saying like, this is not the right way to do it. Like, a lot of these soldiers are just scared. They enlisted because they wanted to help their country due to propaganda, stuff like that. And Doom does also point out to Captain America when he's talking to him before that he's like, America's not the same. Like, it's more shady, and it's a lot like the people he was trying to stop when he was fighting back in World War II. And then Captain America doesn't full out believe him, but he does believe there's some truth to that, which goes back to the end of this new issue. But anyways, yeah, so Colton and Cap fight a little bit, and then one of the Howling Commandos is still alive, and then they come and try to shoot him, and Colton saves both of them. He ends up having a heart attack, and like fast forwards, he's having like a heart surgery. And then so Captain America comes back, and it turns out that he just like went AWOL during the evac in Latveria, I believe, and then he started just going around talking to people, trying to figure out like, you know, this new world that he was brought into, because he knows like the military would just tell him one thing. And it actually turns out that America, Colton actually found this out from the other Howling Commandos, and then told Cap that America actually backed Doom's rise to power, and then Doom turned on them, so then that's why they went to go kill the hostages. So there's no they went to go kill their own American hostages, so there are no witnesses that America is the one that brought Doom into power. Which is also relevant to like it's allegory to some real world events that have happened before, which I think is really good. And I really like how it just shows going back to what's happening, yeah. So Cap comes back to Ross, and he says, discharge me, I no longer believe that the best way I can help the American people and the people of this world is through the army, which I think, you know, shows that above everything he is a good person, not just a soldier, as I said earlier, which is what Cap should be. He's like a symbol of hope. He's a symbol of freedom, not in like a aspect for just America, but for every person. Their freedom, their freedoms that they deserve, essentially, and their rights. He's like Captain America is like the Optimus Prime of Marvel. He's like Superman. I'd say those three are like symbols of hope more so than anything. He's not just a symbol of a country. So I really do love this run. And then this newest issue ends with him joining the Avengers, and then Reed sends him a little gift because which I thought was really cool. When he's talking to Reed Richards earlier about Doom, Reed shows him a little action figure, a Captain America action figure, and the first thing he asks is, "Oh, did they make any of Bucky?" And then Reed's like, "Yeah, they did." And then at the Avengers Mansion, Reed sends him an action figure of Bucky, which was really cool. So anyways, yeah, I really love this run. Chip Zdarsky did really good. I can't wait to read the next couple of issues. So if you haven't read this yet, I'll definitely go recommend checking it out. If this was a rating, I'm not really doing a rating because like it's only 5 issues so far and it's still continuing. It's definitely a 5 out of 5. But yeah, it's one of my favorite runs this year so far. One of my favorite comics. So I definitely go recommend checking it out.